Now, before we move to the next speaker, let me explain what's going on here. Our third speaker tonight is working on the Managing a Difficult Audience project. And this project is a little bit different. Not only will she be giving a speech, she'll be dealing with distractions during the speech. And these are intentional, planted distractions that she doesn't know about. But I, as Toastmaster, had the opportunity to recruit these agitators, these rabble-rousers. So let me tell you who these particular agitators are. Not by name, but by role. First, we have the talker. And this is a person who likes to talk and offer their opinion and give comments about anything that's said without really knowing what they're talking about or saying something that really means anything. Then you have the interrupter, who just feels like they have to say something. They have to go ahead and mention whatever's on their mind. Then you have the chatterer. And this is the person that likes to talk to the person beside them, maybe comment on what's being discussed and give their opinions on a more one-to-one basis. And then you have the arguer, the one that wants to argue every point that's being made during the speech. And then you also have the shy, quiet person that doesn't say anything. And in this type of speech, that's probably going to be less of a role that can be played here. So we have our plants in the audience, and we have our speakers up. So let's get on with the festivities, okay? Now, recently, you may all remember, we heard a speech from Megan Hurley about her mugs. And she talked about how each mug told a story for her. That inspired our next speaker because she wants to tell how her decorating for Christmas reminds her of stories. And she's realizing as she gets older, and did I mention that she retired on Friday? So she is finding sometimes it's hard to recall some of those memories from the past, way past, or from just a few minutes ago, walking into a room and wondering, why am I here? Today, she wants to share with you how she takes time each year when decorating her Christmas tree, pulling out her ornaments and to reminisce about past times. With her speech, Remembering, please welcome Cynthia Lanham.
Oh, hi. I was just remembering. What about you? How do you remember? How do you reflect on the past? Are those events so vivid that can be easily plucked from your mind? Not me. I mean, I forget when I put a load of clothes in the washer, and then the next day I go back and there it is, smelling. Or I put the dishes into soak, and then 3 hours later, yep, the water's fine now. It's been sitting there. Well, I was just reflecting on this ornament. This was my very first ornament I got when I was a teacher.
An ornament like that? Can you see one just like that? Oh my goodness, I have an ornament just like that.
Wonderful, Cindy. Wonderful.
It's right on my
can you wait just a minute, and maybe after we finish, you can show everybody about it. But this is, it says Miss Owen, and that was my maiden name. And that was a first grade class, and Bobby made this, and he was so sweet. In fact, all the first graders, I love teaching first grade. They're so excited about life and learning, and finally learning to read, and what did these letters mean? It's just so exciting, and I love to reminisce on that. You know, I began to get an ornament.
I can't talk.
Y'all would just a minute, maybe afterwards you could tell about your experience with ornaments. But every year I began collecting ornaments. And sometimes it was a death. Sometimes it was a birth. Me getting married. All my life, everything that happened, I would collect something. I would look at it. I would think about it. Share it with my daughters, of course. And then we'd pass the stories on. So I wanted to share with you some ornaments, just a few. This is my mom. Can you see that? Whenever I get this ornament out and I see my mom there, I remember how she had jet black hair and wore this red, deep red lipstick. And she smelled of Chanel No. 5. She taught me integrity, honesty. She always wanted to be a teacher, but she couldn't afford.
My mom was a teacher too. And she smelled like white shoulders.
That's wonderful. Madam Sergeant Arms, can you please mute the people so that we can continue, and maybe the rest can tell us about their story later on after the club meeting. But my mom, I remember one time I stole something. I was 5 years old. I picked something up from the store, and she discovered it and marched me right back in the store and made me apologize to everyone. I was so embarrassed.
Cynthia, Christmas ornament really appropriate?
Yes, Madam Sergeant Arms, could you please mute everyone, and then maybe later on they can talk about it. Thank you, Hal.
A troublemaker?
Well, my mom died on Christmas Day, 2004. So every time Christmas comes around, it's bittersweet for me, just thinking about how much I miss my mom. And I wish that I could talk to her again.
She's kind of making us a lot of
The next ornament I have, after my mom died, I broke out of my shell and I began to
a lot about her today.
Do things that I was always afraid to do. And if you can see this is my Pink Panther ornament. That was my very first play I was in. And don't think I was so good, because everyone got to be in that play. Everyone that auditioned got to be in it.
Valerie, did you hear me? I think, is this all about her today?
Madam Sergeant at Arms, could you please?
Oh, no, she tried that. It's okay. We're just talking. No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We need to continue with the speech, and you can talk about it later. You'll be able to speak to her after that.
It's okay. We don't need to talk after. It's okay. Go ahead.
But the Pink Panther ornament. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Jake. The Pink Panther ornament, it was kind of my favorite roles. Of course, I've never had the role before, but I was a waitress. I was an assassin. And then I also played what Steve probably thinks is made just for me. I was a patient in an insane asylum. So pretty nice. So there's that. So you're probably thinking,
Hi, Cynthia, but do we really care what Steve thinks? This is supposed to be about you.
Thank you, Hal. Could you wait just a moment and let me finish, and then we can discuss that. You're probably thinking, what ornament did I do this year? I mean, I don't get out anymore, so I can't really get some.
What do you think? Really?
And so what I did. Is that you, Megan?
No, this is good.
Can you wait just a minute, Megan? Till I finish? I'm almost finished, okay? Anyway, this year, what I did, I thought, what did I do? I stayed in the house all year long. And what in the world could I have gotten an ornament from? Well, here it is. 2001. I got vaccinated. So I did leave the house, and I was vaccinated. So I did something. And then 10 years, 20 years later, I can look back and think of, wow, these past few years, what we've had to deal with, all the deaths we had to deal with.
That vaccination stuff is just, that's the government trying to take over your life, girl.
Thank you, Rick. Can you wait just a second? Let me finish. I'm almost finished, okay? These are a few snapshots in my life. So how about you? How are you remembering and passing down your history? I hope after I'm gone, my daughters can pull out the memories, reflect on them, maybe share a laugh, silly mom, and then pass them on to their kids and their loved ones. Mr. Toastmaster, or Miss Toastmaster, my husband. Oh no, Mr. Toastmaster, my husband.